Okay, let me tell you what I can now. Earlier in the day, 911 advised our police department of a shots fired call at the apartment complex. Officers arrived on the scene. They were able to determine that a female victim had sustained a gunshot wound. Officers assisted her. At that time, after they assisted the female victim out of harm's way, officers were fired upon by an individual from the apartment. Individual then did barricade himself inside the apartment, and for a period of time afterward, he did at various times shoot at police officers. This took place over a period of several hours. During that time, the officers were under fire. He was firing at the officers. Some of his shots were striking the buildings around. At some point, the gunfire ceased, and it was a cooperative effort with several agencies involved. Everyone was very, very helpful, came together working with us, and entry was made into the apartment building. At that time, it was determined that the individual was deceased. Because of the circumstances and what we're doing and what took place under normal protocol, the Alabama Bureau of Investigation was notified. They responded to the scene, and ABI is the one that's actually working the case now. So any future information, you would need to go through the Alabama Bureau of Investigation. At this point in time, the only individual that we know that was injured from the individual's gunfire was the female victim that I spoke about earlier. There were no officers injured. There were no residents in the apartment that were injured. And as I had said, the ABI will be working the case from this point on.
Are you releasing the relationship between the shooter and the victim?
No, we're not releasing any information now, pending further notification to the family.
Chief, how dangerous a situation was this for your officers who were taking on fire?
It was extremely dangerous. The individual was firing from the apartment with what we believe to be a large caliber shoulder weapon. So the range on those is very extreme. So the danger to the officers and anybody in the apartment complex was extreme at that point.
Are you talking 7.62 and above?
I'm not familiar with the exact caliber of it, but I can tell you it was a large caliber shoulder weapon.
Do we know if he was if it was self-inflicted or if it was hit? Were there crossfire? Or?
At this time, we're not able to determine that. That will be far more into the investigation to where that will be determined at this point in time. The only thing that we are for sure of is that the individual that was inside the apartment is deceased. And thank God that nobody else was harmed worse than they were. My understanding is that the female victim was, I believe, taken to Huntsville Hospital with gunshot wounds, and I have no further information on her at this time.
Chief, how important was it to get other departments over here to help you guys?
I express to y'all all the time the importance of the relationship that our area departments have, and we talk about the mutual cooperation, not just police, but EMS, fire, sheriff's department. Everybody came together very quickly. We could not have done what we did, and I don't think we would have had the outcome that we had we not had the cooperation from the other agencies that we had.
Chief, can we get a quick timeline when you got your first call, when the officers arrived, first gunfire, last gunfire, when you entered the building?
I don't have that information at this time.
Any notion of what it was?
You can probably, Captain Skipworth will be on later. You could probably call Captain Skipworth at the station later, give him time to collect that information. Captain, what they were asking for was a timeline as far as when the initial call came in and such as that. So. But we'll be able to assist you with that later on in the day. But if you would, I would ask that any questions that you have, that you refer any other ones to the ABI, because as I said, they're the ones that are processing the scene now. They're the ones that will be working the case.
When will residents be able to go back in? Are they able to go back in now?
The ones that are not in the immediate area that was in proximity to where the apartment was that he was firing out of should be able to return to them now. That shouldn't be a problem. And for the ones that are in the area that may be inconvenienced by them processing that crime scene, we would ask for their indulgence in that and understand that they will be handling that and processing that scene just as quickly as they can.
Where was he found in the apartment?
I don't have that information at this time.
Are you guys still interviewing the people that live around that apartment itself?
They are still conducting interviews right now. As I said, the investigation is very, very fluid now. We're still in the initial stages of that. So as far as being able to get close to the apartment, it's probably going to be some time before you'll be granted access to that.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.